And I'm recording on Audacity because I know how
Oh
to run
yeah.
a podcast. Streams are starting soon. We are live.
I need to reopen Audacity. Wah, wah. Test test. Okay, good. That looks fine. I like how your Shiro chair is just like in his face. Oh my god, I just had
It says we are live on Twitch and live on YouTube. I think we're ready to start a podcast.
sweet.
Oh, fuck.
I'm trying to here we go. Oh, which is fine.
Hey, Cloudy. Oh, that was a little bit of a whirlwind. I ordered food an hour ago and it still hasn't shown up.
Is Postmates again? Or Grubhub or DoorDash?
It's fucking Jack in the Box, and that's what bugs the shit out of me because it's like, come on, give me my food.
Yeah.
Okay. I look good on volume levels. Actually, I could probably go up a little bit on this. Okay. I'm good. You're good. Let's go. Do you guys hear Sam tonight?
So here's your fucking spoiler alert.
Did the spoiler alert happen? I think we should be good. I mean, it showed up on the audio for me, so. Oh. We've got a big audio clip to play tonight, so I want to make sure that audio is working. Oh, and Navi just went
Cloudy
live
says
at the same
yes.
time. Yay. Okay. That makes me so happy.
I want to hear it too. Because I only heard like an itty bitty part of it.
Mm.
So it'll be a surprise for me too when it happens.
The 37-second clip,
Yeah.
the first one.
I only
Okay.
listened to like the first 5 seconds and I was like, yep, sounds good to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I've listened to it like 30 times. Okay.
I was too busy looking for Captain Avery's lost pirate treasure. So I couldn't be taken away from that goal. I just finished that game today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know
And
Cloudy
I
wants
have
to
the
sit down
DLC
with
still,
you.
but
I said Cloudy has been talking about it nonstop. It's awesome. And I might pick it up and play it. We'll see.
Have you ever?
No.
Because this was my first time. And oh my god. It's the best. It was so good. Unlike every other game that we like, the huge sweeping narrative stories. I was thinking about this today. It has an actual ending, and it's a good, nice, wrapped up ending. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it for you. I was playing it like I never watched any gameplay videos of it. It was all fresh eyes for me, and that is the way I like to experience stories for the first time. And they delivered. It was the best.
Awesome.
So you should play it too.
Okay. Are we ready? Okay. Oh, no, hold on. I know, I'm horrible. Well, I have to position my windows exactly perfect or else everything doesn't fit on the screen the right way. Okay.
I'm just sorry for all this sniffling you're going to
Horizon.
have cut out of my audio clip.
Oh.
Sorry
It's fine.
in advance.
You know what's actually really funny? don't mute yourself and give me like a sniffle, because then I can just take that one sound clip of a sniffle and tell Audacity to remove all of them.
Oh, because you're not listening to my actual MP3.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm not muting on my mic, so when my MP3 is still picking it up, I just mute for the sake of streaming because I don't want people to hear my various sick sounds
Oh. Oh.
of sniffles. I
Okay.
just have allergies, I think. Oh, and no, not Horizon. Uncharted 4. But you should play
Oh.
Horizon too.
Okay. I haven't played that yet.
Horizon Forbidden West is not the end. There's at least one more game. I think they've always wanted to make a trilogy.
Mm.
But yeah, I finished Uncharted 4 today. I finished Horizon last weekend. Oh, it was good. So good. Shut up, Ollie. Sorry, my cat meowed really loud.
Well, it's Ollie. What do you expect? Okay.
Nothing good.
All right. Hello, lovelies, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Ship. On this episode, we have a special treat. The absolutely amazing Andrew of Pipe Man Studios, the guest of the Two Veterans, One Girl episode, has graced us with his musical talents. Right here, right now, we are going to debut our new music for the show. Oh my god. It is so good. Did you hear all of it this time?
Yeah. I mean, for me, unfortunately, it was a little glitchy on my end because of the internet, but I'll listen to it in
Oh,
full after. I heard enough to know that it is all of my like film noir dreams come true.
it is exactly that.
Perfect.
It's, oh,
Yeah. Perfect to debut with today's subject.
yes. Oh,
Thank you so much, Pipe Man. Like, seriously.
a
It was
million times
awesome.
thank you. Oh, right. When he was talking about how he was theming the music, he wanted it to be about lovers and romance and fun, and then switch it to a filter of lovers and seduction. And I'm like, that is exactly who we are, what this show is. And he totally encapsulated that. Oh,
Yeah, he
love
did a
it.
great job.
Love him. And I love Pipe Girl's bread. I'm going to order some someday. But anyways,
Wait, bread?
bread.
That's
Yeah. She makes these beautiful sourdough loaves, like
oh
legit,
man,
like huge ass sourdough loaves. Pipe Girl's amazing.
that I want that too. I was just laughing because I'm like, oh, we're already at the tangent, so we haven't even
Ah,
started our show.
you're right. You're right. Oh, okay. No more tangents. And now we will get on with the show. This is the Two Girls, One Ship podcast, where we analyze, rate, and review all that the world of video game romances has to offer. I'm Genesis, the girl who is officially 15 hours into her Dragon Age 2 playthrough, and can already tell who I'm falling for. Want to take a guess?
I feel like I don't know you at all, Even if I didn't know you at all, is what I'm saying, I would still guess Isabella because you just seem like you have to romance her.
Yes.
Did I
Big,
guess?
big yes.
Honestly, Isabella's awesome. When I first played Dragon Age 2, I romanced Fenris, but I think now I think I would romance Meryl. She's a little annoying though, so I'm not really sure. Maybe I would go for Isabella too. Definitely not Anders. Ugh. Nope, 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 nope. Sorry if I offended anyone. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We
And
will get
I'm
there.
Bravada, the girl who has, as I said earlier, who has been searching for Captain Avery's lost pirate treasure for the past few days. I'm talking about Uncharted 4. Mary Kenny was right. That chase scene was amazing. But for me, the real best part of the game was actually the epilogue. I really I really enjoyed the way that story ended. I'm really sad that it's over, but I loved the way it ended.
Oh, I'll get there one day. We'll see. As
Oh,
always.
definitely. I have thoughts on Elena and Nate for sure. So we're definitely going to do that game at some point.
Oh, okay. Take notes for episodes in 2023. We will get there. And as always, we get up close and personal with each of our character breakdowns. If you're looking for a spoiler-free zone, sorry, lovelies, you are in the wrong place.
So here's your fucking spoiler alert.
Thanks, N7, for the spoiler alert.
Today's episode is all about feeling alive tonight with Thane Krios from Mass Effect 2.
This was to be my last job. I'm dying.
Thane Krios was born in 2146, making him about 39 years old during the events of Mass Effect 2. He's one of only a few parents among the squad mates. Zaid is a father, but we don't know if he knows that. And we get to meet Samara's daughters. And unlike most of the other romance options, Thane is among the older squad mates, making him a uniquely mature voice aboard the Normandy. Thane is an assassin rumored to be the best in the galaxy, and he has been training as an assassin since he was 6 years old. He is a Drell, a race of reptilian humanoid aliens whose arid homeworld was lost, and now they are forced to share the humid and aquatic homeworld of the Hanar, aka the big stupid jellyfishes.
It is an honor for a Drell to be asked to serve the Hanar, such as an assassin in Thane's case, as the Drell are forever grateful for their salvation and gift of a safe place to live on Kaje, the Hanar homeworld, when their own homeworld of Rakana was dying. The Drell live within a climate-controlled dome on Kaje, but some, like Thane, choose to go out into the galaxy for work or adventure. In his younger days as an assassin, he met his future wife, Erica, right before he was about to pull the trigger.
Laser dot trembles on the skull. One finger twitch. He dies. The smell of spice on the spring wind. Sunset-colored eyes defiant in the scope. The laser dances away.
This is reminiscent of Shepard blocking Garrus from shooting Sidonis in his loyalty mission. Nothing quite like looking at your future lover through the scope of a sniper rifle. But back to Thane. Thane will sometimes slip into memories because Drell have something similar to eidetic memory or photographic memory. But it's deeper than that. Drell can easily forget which is the present time or which is the past. It's so vivid for them. This developed from their old homeworld that was akin to a barren desert on Earth. They needed to remember exactly where they found resources in order to survive.
This isn't always a good thing. Like we said, they can slip into memories at any moment, and not all memories are good ones. I always kind of wondered what kind of perfume Erica must have worn, like if he smelled spice on the spring wind all the way from his sniper nest. The moment Her sunset-colored eyes judged his actions. His purpose faltered, and he eventually gave up the assassin's life in service to the Hannar in order to marry Erica and start a family. However, with only the skills of an assassin at his disposal, he quickly started freelancing his services to support his wife and small child, Kolyat.
Thane has taken up a few jobs against Batarian slavers, the Milky Way's resident evildoers, and the Batarians paid the Shadow Broker to find out who the mysterious assassin was. They found out, and because they were too afraid of him, they went after his family while he was away. His wife died defending their son. Thane left their son in the care of his aunts and uncles and entered what he calls battle sleep to hunt down her killers.
Thane and other Drell believe that the soul and the body are two separate entities. When the body and soul are together and work as one, you are a whole person. The soul is the true self, but the body can be used as a tool or to do things outside of your true self. This is when you become disconnected, like when Thane enters his battle sleep. He was in this state until you meet him during his recruitment mission in Mass Effect 2.
The Elusive Man's dossier on Thane tells you where you can hopefully find the deadly Drell. Shepard and company travel to Ilium and make their way to a tall tower where the Asari target is hiding out. As you make your way further up the tower, you see bodies fall off of the scaffolding ahead of you. You hear distant sounds of fighting and sudden silences, and encounter a few construction workers who were spared and even protected by the assassin. The establishing character moment comes when you finally reach the top of the tower to find Nasana Dontius, the Asari target, surrounded by her guards. Thane drops from the ceiling and quickly takes out the mercs and shoots Nasana at close range. He then catches her before she can fall, laying her gently onto a console before praying over her body. Shepard and friends are intrigued, to say the least.
Impressive. You certainly know how to make an entrance.
I was hoping to talk to you.
I apologize, but prayers for the wicked must not be forsaken.
She certainly was wicked.
Not for her, for me.
I love his voice. Also, Garrus, you gotta sneak him in there somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Thane's is a story of redemption, like others in the squad, but for him, it's more about redeeming the world in which his child lives versus redeeming himself. After hunting down Erica's killers, he realized he abandoned his son in favor of revenge, and decided that the best way to make it up to Kolyat was to rid the galaxy of as many evils as he could before he finally succumbs to his disease. Thane prays for himself because he believes he is wicked, but also he needs the strength to keep going long enough to make a difference. It's why he's so willing to join the Normandy and fight the Collectors. A suicide mission for a Drell doomed to die anyway, it's perfect for him in his mind.
Thane's beliefs are unique among Drell, choosing to believe in a polytheistic old ways of Drell culture rather than the more modern Hannar or Asari ideologies. This is also how he reconciles his religion with his assassin's career. His body is merely a tool, and it is acting at the will of his employers. He can never truly escape his actions, though, thanks to the Drell supermemory. This has led him to lead a very solitary life, where he hardly speaks to anyone outside of family, is very well read, and hasn't made a friend in over a decade. But this changes when he meets Shepard, if you talk to him enough.
Why wouldn't you talk to him just to hear him talk?
Right?
This new purpose for what little time he has left in his life has forced Thane to confront the fact that he wants to say goodbye to his son. He used his contacts to find out where Kolyat is, and he is upset to discover that his son has followed in his footsteps and taken an assassination job on the Citadel. Kolyat has never received the training Thane did, and Thane's worried for his son. This is his loyalty mission.
Shepard accompanies Thane to the Citadel, where you go back and forth talking to people, from duct rats to politicians to C-Sec Captain Bailey, in order to find a lead on Kolyat. You interrogate a nasty piece of work to find out that the assassination target is Joram Talid, a Turian who is running for office and promising to eradicate the organized crime on the station. Not an ideal candidate for an organized crime boss to have around, so the hit gets put out. Shepard and Thane go to the Zakara ward and trail the Turian politician. In a dramatic scene, you prevent Kolyat from assassinating the Turian at the last second and reunite father and son. It's not the best time to say what needed to be said after the long years apart, but Thane doesn't have the luxury of time.
You're angry because I wasn't there when your mother died.
You weren't there when she was alive. Why should you be there when she died?
Your mother. They killed her to get to me. It was my fault.
What?
After her body was given to the Deep, I went to find them. The Triggermen, the ringleaders. I hurt them. Eventually killed them. When I went back to see you, you were older. I should have stayed with you.
I guess it's too bad for me you waited so long, huh?
Kolyat, I've taken many bad things out of the world. You're the only good thing I ever added to it.
This whole scene hurts my mama heart. But that last line, the truth, it saddens me to know that Thane was asleep from his life for so long, and it took being told he's going to die to wake up and realize his mistakes. Let's all remember to wake up, take a breath every once in a while. A popular phrase I've heard since I became a mother about parenting is, the days are long, but the years are short. I can attest to that because sometimes I forget that my baby's a toddler now. Make every minute count, like Thane is.
I've already cried once on this podcast, and Thane might make it happen again. Oh. If you talk to Thane enough, both before and after his loyalty mission, he eventually starts to call you Siha, which is the name of the warrior angels of one of the goddesses in the Drell pantheon. Whether or not you romance him, he will refer to Femshep as Siha, indicating that he has developed feelings for her. But before we get into the juicy bits, let's take a quick mid-break. I love our synchronized dancing when it comes to the mid-break. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take a mid-break. My chair, while awesome, is a little bit noisy, so if I move around too much in it, you can hear it.
That's me. I move around and I accidentally smack something. This mic picks it up.
Yeah.
That's why I'm on mute when I'm not talking.
Okay. All right. Pull script back up. There we go. Time for some fun facts about our favorite Drell daddy. Thane was voted ING's best character of 2010 with IG. Wow. Okay. Thane was voted IGN's best character of 2010, with IGN saying that Thane was easily the most fully realized character in the supporting cast of Mass Effect 2. Also, Thane underwent the genetic modification of his eyes to better see the Hanar's true language through bioluminescence. This means that he lost some of his lower light spectrum differentiation, though. So he can't tell apart dark red from black. Kind of funny because his optional outfit is dark red, but I guess he'd just think it's black.
I just love the thought of him being like, "Oh, I love my new black outfit." They're like, "Thane, that's red."
It's a sexy red, though.
Funny to me. It's sexy red, yeah. And the shades.
Yes.
Well, his name may be inspired by Greek mythology, as Thanatos is a minor god and the personification of death. His twin brother is Hypnos, or sleep, and Thanatos oversaw gentle deaths. Definitely fits the way Thane kills, as he is known for precision and limiting suffering, normally, not when you killed his wife. Also, speaking to Thane as Femshep is the only time the game mentions the Omnitool's language translation capabilities. When he first calls you Siha, obviously there needs to be some kind of real-time language translator going on, but they never really mention it other than this quote-unquote glitch when he calls you Siha.
One last tiny fun fact. Thane is also tiny. Drell are in the height range of 5 foot to 5'9". So no matter what, Thane is shorter than me. Okay, time to thank our lovely patrons. We now have 4 hopeless romantics to thank. Toasty, or who actually his name is Thanatoasted. So maybe he's the god that that Thane is named after. Toasty. Toasty, Apollo, Meiji Moose, and Commander Shenko. Thank you so much for being awesome. And thank you for taking the time to find us. I was recently informed that we are not searchable on Patreon. Our podcast, while not technically explicit sexual content, because in that case it's referring to like us posting nudie pics, which is not what we do. However, we do contain adult themes and language. This is why we tag almost all of our episodes with the little E. But what this means to Patreon is that we can't be easily accessible by those under the age of 18. That's fine. That's good. I don't want my foul-mouthed, horny attitude around kids either. What this means for our listeners is that you have to follow the links found in the description, or on our pinned post on Twitter, or go directly to patreon.com/2girls1ship. All one word, all spelled out. So, thank you for finding us. Okay. Time to tell. Oh, did you have something?
Oh no, I was just gonna say thanks also, but you did it, so I was just gonna say thank you because I figured they heard from 2 girls, but I couldn't get unmute fast enough.
Oh. Okay. Well, and now it's time to tell Thane thanks for the memories and get into the romance for real.
I guess you're lucky we came along when we did.
It was an intervention by the gods. I would have died in that penthouse. I would have fulfilled my contract. If Nasana's guards caught me afterwards, it would have been a good death. But someone else was pushing to reach the target, forcing me to move faster, challenging me. I had to reach her first.
I had no idea you planned to die in there.
It wasn't a plan. My body had accepted its death. My mind had been dead a long time, but I met another Sia. Few are privileged to meet even one.
Okay, quick interrupt. When I first heard that line, I thought Thane was speaking about Shepard. Because like my first 2 playthroughs were Femshep. Someone was pushing me. Someone was making me go faster. I had to reach her first. I thought he was talking about me. What do you think?
Oh, I always thought he was talking about Nasana because, like, the challenge was he had to reach her first because that was the contract. And obviously, Shepard, you were going after Nasana because you figured you'd run into Thane once you got to her. And you're also trying to prevent her from being assassinated for whatever reason. If you're a Paragon, maybe if you're a Renegade, you don't give a shit. But I always interpreted that someone was pushing me as Shepard, but I had to reach her first is Nasana. And then I don't know. I don't know. Do you get that line if you're male Shep though? I don't think so. I think this is
that was another thing.
Romance line.
I can't find this conversation with Bro Shep. Like I can't find it.
Yeah, I think the piano music in the background is signaling that it's a romance interaction. So I think you only get that for FemShep.
Okay.
Usually they play that piano piece when there's like some lovey-dovey stuff going on.
Well, it'll probably be like late summer, early fall when I finally get here on my bro run. But I will keep that mental note in my head. See if I can get this scene with Thane. But okay.
Yeah, I think it's just romance, but yeah, that's how I always thought of it. Was he was pushing to like Shepard was pushing him harder. Like he had to actually try for the first time in years, and that helped kind of awaken him from his battle sleep. And he had to reach Nasana first because that was his target. But back to Thane. Tragic Irony is the name of this romance, otherwise known as star-crossed lovers. The gods may have intervened so that Thane could awaken from his battle sleep, but the love was always doomed. Just like Romeo and Juliet, Jack and Rose, and Buffy and Angel, Shepard and Thane could not live happily ever after, no matter how much they may care for one another. That tragedy plays out in the next game, however, but their joy in finding love is always colored by the knowledge that Thane is on borrowed time.
One important aspect about Thane that we will cover more in depth for the Mass Effect 3 episodes is that Thane is a pretty good example of a character that is a whole and valuable person with a chronic illness. Keppel syndrome is very similar to real-life cystic fibrosis, a genetic disorder that fills your lungs and sometimes other organs with a thick mucus. While there are treatments, the average life expectancy is much shorter than that of a person without cystic fibrosis, and lung issues are almost always the cause of death. We currently don't have a cure for CF, and about 1 in every 3,000 newborns are born with it. When we meet Thane, he is already near the end of his life due to Keppel syndrome, but he's still able to kick ass and take names, even in this weakened state, and does so much good.
There aren't enough positive representations in any media form of someone with a disability or chronic illness. And while Thane does eventually die, he goes down fighting. It's probably what he would have preferred anyway, rather than the common stereotype of the disabled character dying in a hospital bed somewhere. We get to see him as a hero, living his life on his terms. It would have been easy, and maybe more satisfying, to have him be cured of his disease, but that would have been the wrong message to send those of us living with a disability or chronic illness. We don't have space magic in real life. And I'm thankful that Mass Effect 2 showed us a capable, strong, resilient, and vulnerable character whose diagnosis did not define who he was. And when he eventually does die in Mass Effect 3, he doesn't let his diagnosis define him there either.
Thane will also be very open and honest with Shepard, to a degree not seen with the other love interests in Mass Effect 2. After the loyalty mission, Shepard and Thane will continue to talk. Thane will reveal more about himself and how his wife died, all for context for Shepard, so she can understand how precious this chance with her is. The start of the romance is indicated by this dialogue between the two of them.
I confess, I've come to care for you. Perhaps I'm being foolish. We are very different.
I'm not sure we know each other well enough to call it love, but I feel something for you too. Something more than friendship.
I've never felt affection for another species. I'm not sure what to do now.
We'll just have to figure it out.
I look forward to the memories.
It's so good. I love how mature this scene is. The two hold hands and look each other in the eye, fully present with each other. Thane, being in the final months of his life, also gives everything he says a heavy weight, making his feelings for Shepard all the more important and true. One of Thane's tropes is the atoner, or the character whose actions are driven by a need to repent for past sins. Given his limited time left, this makes the romance extremely bittersweet. They make every moment count, however, perhaps even in a way the other romances do not and cannot. We finally arrived at the romance culmination scene.
All right. So here we go into another alien romance scene. And once again, they don't want to push the boundaries. With the amazing physical grace and understated strength of Thane, I could picture an almost tango level seduction. But what we get feels right. This isn't a screw away the stress moment like with Miranda and Jacob. It's not a nervous lover held close like Garrus and Tally. It's a man whose heart has been shut down tight for over a decade, finally being reawakened. It's a woman who knows that time is short, but the memories will be worth it. It's a tragically beautiful moment that, while lacking the physical moments on screen, is still powerful. Shep reaches out to touch his face, and he lets her. But he starts to cry, not knowing how to deal with the emotions he turned off so long ago. Passionate words expelling all the truths he has locked away, and a punch on a table because he only knows violence to express anger. Tears streaming down his face as Shepard brings him back to the present, to this moment, right now. A brief but passionate kiss as the camera fades over the bed and fades to black.
I have worked so hard, meditated and prayed and done good deeds, atoned for the evils I've done, prepared. I consider my body's death and a chill settles in my gut. I'm afraid, and it shames me.
Thane, be alive with me tonight.
Oh my God, what a line. It ranks up there for me. Like Caden's human. Jacob's I want you. Garrus's yeah, definitely. And now Fem Shep joins it with the be alive with me tonight. And yes, I have others, but those are in 3, so I won't mention them yet. Okay. Keeping in line with the physical romance rating, what we see on screen between Commander Fem Shep and Thane Krios is a 5 out of 10. There is a kiss, which is just a nudge higher than what we had with Garrus, and is right along the lines of what we see with Tally. Really, it would be about a 4.5 because it falls just in between the two, but I'm going to go 5 out of 10 with Thane.
It's pretty decent. I think it's implied that they have a healthy, relationship physically.
Oh,
And
yeah.
also, we didn't really touch on Morden's advice about how Drell skin contact with humans can cause hallucinations. So I kind of just imagine Shepard is high out of her mind while it's going down.
Oh, okay. So tripping balls during sex would...
It depends on what the trip is like, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Sorry.
I don't want to go too far down that path, or otherwise Patreon will judge us even harder. Oh, okay. But if you want to, do you have thoughts on that, or you want me to go into the...
I have a lot of thoughts about
romance?
what it would be like to be on psychedelic drugs while having sex and the way that that would amplify a lot of things. But I feel like that's an after hours chat and not...
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the romantic goal beautiful things. But it may surprise our listeners, given how much I simp for Garrus, because you know I do. But I've romanced Thane a few times. He's right up there with our favorite bad boy Turian because of how open and honest he is. In some ways, his diagnosis gives him a gift of bravery to be so present and vulnerable as Shepard. Shepard gives him the gift of seeing that he should take advantage of what time he has left to not only make the galaxy better for his son, but also for himself. He spent so long alone, and suddenly he goes from having no reasons to live to having two, Shepard and Kolyat. This is the type of tragic beauty that I can't help but fangirl over. I want their love to work out so badly precisely because I know it will not and cannot. Star-crossed lovers to a T. Couple this beautiful depth of soul and clarity of purpose with his physical appearance and feats. Drell, as we've mentioned, and specifically Thane, because all Drell were designed after Thane, were made for women to find attractive. The dark, soulful eyes, the deep and masculine voice, the toned and symmetrical physique, the black leather outfit, the overall mystery of him, perfectly executed, just like Nasana Dantius. I almost prefer him now as a 30-year-old woman than I did when I first romanced him as a 20-year-old. His great sense of self-awareness, ability to admit his fears, and his willingness to lay it all out and tell you everything he's feeling, I love that. That is sexy. We can all learn from Thane. Be more present, be more honest, and be thankful for the time you have. No matter how much you get, it'll never be enough. I like to think Thane and are on the beach, across the sea, studying seashells together. I give Thane a 10 out of 10 because I cherish the memories from that romance.
I know I'm not allowed to because I rate sex and not romance, but 10 out of 10 for the romance on me too. Like, oh, so good.
It's so good. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
And sad. I love it.
And for loving somebody who has a chronic illness, it also just kind of like hits extra home for me. I love it. I love Thane. But there is no Shepard without Vicarian, and there is no Genesis without Shakarian. So I can't. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
We all know who you fall for every time.
I know. Yeah. Okay. And that, lovely listeners, is where we would usually end our show. For this episode, we have a special guest. We are excited to bring on a Thane Mancer, who has been one of the biggest two girls cheerleaders since before we even fully announced we had a show. Please welcome Lena. Okay, let's. Yay!
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Hello, Luna.
Oh, and I just saw my face and realized that my screen had been like all the way up here the whole time. Jesus.
Oh my god, you guys. I can't even with this episode. Like, I sat here and was just like, oh my god, I'm not gonna go crying before I'm on the show.
I'm sorry.
That's so funny.
Oh.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
good.
since the beginning, you were like, Thane episode, I will be there. Give me an episode.
True.
Yep. I was like, I'm pretty sure before we even had the name of the podcast, Lena was like, if you guys do an episode on Thane, I want to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
You've been in our notes since day one.
Yep.
No. Thank you.
Aw, and so now you're here and at a crazy time for you. Isn't it like after 4 a.m. right now?
Yep. 4 a.m. But let's do
Oh,
it.
man.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
This This was my cup of coffee. So
Ooh, aptly sized.
That is bigger than her face for those of you not watching.
yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's the
Well
only
then.
size of coffee cup that I'm interested in.
Mhm.
I'll send you a
Well,
link.
we discussed a lot of things about Thane. Did you learn anything new? Did we forget to say something that you wanted to mention? Anything like that?
I mean, to be fair, I did some research before the episode because I was just like, it can't be possible that I know everything about this gel. And I was just like in disbelief because I need, like, there has to be some kind of gap in my knowledge. But I think you covered it, like, pretty much everything. The only thing that I was really surprised by was that there actually is a real life sickness similar to Capral syndrome. I didn't
Mm.
even know that, and that really makes it much more tragic.
Yeah, cystic fibrosis, um, it's really difficult to mitigate and to deal with. I know at least one person who has had it, and they attributed it to occasionally it'll just feel like I'm sitting in a room and drowning. And I'm like, to think that that's what Thane deals with every day. Oof.
I mean, it's just so tragic. Like, I think Varvada said it pretty well. Like, the tragic irony, this whole love story is just, it hits me right in the feels. It's not only the relationship to his son, it's everything about it. It's so tragic.
And is it the
I
tragedy that
think,
kind of brings you back each time?
yeah, that's what I was going to ask too.
Um I think, yeah, probably because, like, I think you've also touched on this, but I feel so drawn, like, the tragedy of the romance is also, like, kind of coming with Thane being this really mature guy who really has, like, you feel like he has complete control over his life. Like, not the sickness obviously, but this whole him being so mature and being able to show his feelings and being able to show that he's emotionally vulnerable is just like, that is what I come back for. Because, like, I feel like that is something, that is a quality that I um search for in real life in, like, my romantic partners. Like, I
Mhm.
want you to be able to tell me how you feel, what's going on, and, like, the character of Thane just does it so good because, like, it would be so off character, I think, if the romance scene would be like some wild sex scene going on. That would be so off character because of course he's crying. He's had a hard life. I mean, at least the last few months were probably the biggest challenge ever.
Mhm. Mm. Yeah, when I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, they could have gone a sexy route with him because he is the sexy assassin and things like that. But it also wouldn't fit for him character-wise. You know, with Miranda, it fit. With Jacob, it fit. Garrus, I was disappointed in because I feel like he could have been sexier, but for the way in that scene, it fit. And so I'm glad that they did something along the same lines of taking things that work with Thane's character. It fit. It worked. It made me cry. Oh.
Yeah. Like, I think I think when they go out to write a romance, they choose, like, is this one going to be more sexually gratifying or is this one going to be more, like, emotionally gratifying? Thane's definitely more the emotional side, I feel like. And I think it's such a good dichotomy between him being, like, this kick-ass, amazing assassin, because like that's something I had to keep reminding myself for both Mass Effect 2 and 3 especially. He's like hardly functioning with his lungs and he's still able to do all that. So imagine how amazing physically he was when he wasn't suffering from Keppel syndrome, or he maybe just started having it and it didn't affect him yet. Like, he's still able to do all these crazy physical feats, and yet he's this introspective, spiritual, mature person that you would not expect from someone who knows how to kill people like that. So he's so fascinating. That's what initially drew me. And when I first romanced him, was like, just, I could not figure him out. He's so mysterious, and you really don't know anything about him until you talk to him a lot more. I feel like he gives up pieces of himself a lot slower than the other companions too. So it's more gratifying when you do find that stuff out too, because it feels like a secret, like it's special. I don't know.
I
I just really
also
like him.
I also feel like Thane is such a good example in the trilogy for like, I don't know, maybe his romance is a good example for what love can do to a person. Like, I feel like this love or the emotional maturity that is in this romance just like it changes him for the better, and it like opens up this whole new emotional sphere for him, and which of course only makes it more tragic and more sad. So, but I mean, the spirituality is also something I'm drawn to, which I don't know why, because like in real life, in offline life, I'm an atheist. But I had the exact same thing happen to me when I played Cyberpunk, and it's a non-romanceable character, which is Takemura, but he's also spiritual, and I was just like, he's an interesting guy, this dude.
We fall for the same people. That's so funny. That's the same when I played Cyberpunk, and I'm not religious, but I'm like something about, I guess because it's so ingrained in their personhood. They're not trying to force it on you, but it's also like clearly such a guiding force in their own life that it's so fascinating. Like, what do you believe? Like, tell me about it. Like, I just want to know. You know what I mean? Like, you seem so peaceful. Like, what's going on there? I want to know what that's like because I don't have that in my life at all. But
Yeah.
I totally agree. Takamura, and I'm sad he wasn't romanceable. I think they probably thought he was too old for us, but they'd be wrong.
I think when you find somebody who has a devotion and a passion towards anything, whether it be a religion or, you know, things that you're passionate about, if you can explain that passion and love to somebody else, it'll draw you in. And kind of lost my train of thought on that one. But the fact that Thane is not saying, oh, we should convert the Hanar away from the Enkindlers and onto the goddess Kalahira, it's meaningful. And the fact that I can remember the goddess's name, it's like obviously that impacted me somehow. I can remember it.
I think that's something interesting about Thane too, is he's essentially a pagan for Drell. Like most Drell don't believe what he believes. So that is something interesting that I liked about him too, because he's very devout, but it's to this thing that most people don't celebrate anymore or don't follow anymore. So I'm like, ooh, you're also independent and a real individual. You're not a follower. So that's something that I like about him too. That I never really thought about until I started thinking all these in detail stuff. Like maybe I subconsciously absorbed it in the game, but I didn't fully realize that these were the reasons why he seems like this independent person. There's like these little breadcrumbs for his personality and all these different details.
Do you remember if you picked Thane on your first playthrough?
So keep in mind, my first playthrough of Mass Effect 2 was 10 years ago. So anyway, I think, and also like Mass Effect 2 was the first game of the trilogy that I played. So it was the only Mass Effect game we had at home, and I think I romanced him then after I had passed the state where I was just like, oh, you can romance people in this game. First of all, that's weird. Second of all, what am I doing? And then third of all, look at me now. Like, what the hell did they do to me? Just
Stay away from
like I
Thane,
was,
children.
he will do things to you.
I mean, I romanced him on my first playthrough. I went to Garrus after, and I have a romance podcast now, so that's what Thane did to me.
Oh my god, truer words have never been spoken. Yeah, I mean, I think I picked him because he was just this cool green dude, you know, assassin, mysterious, and I mean, yeah,
Hey, sexy
I think
green
I picked
dude
him.
is sexy green dude. Do you see this face? Which, by the way, Cloudy Atlas is the artist on both of these. These are not screen caps. She painted these.
So
You're
talented.
amazing.
So talented.
She really captured his beautiful, soulful eyes.
Have you ever romanced anybody else, or has it always been Thane?
You mean in the whole trilogy?
Well, okay, I guess in Mass Effect 2. Because you can't really romance him in 3. I know.
Right in the fields. I mean, I think I've romanced Garrus once, and I immediately felt like I was like cheating, and I went back. So yeah, I don't know. And if we're talking like the whole trilogy, after I had picked Thane for the first time, I would go like Caden, Thane, Kane, and like in the last game again. But I don't know. I always feel like Shepard was meant to be alone in the first game. Then Thane comes. They have a good time because it's also like they don't have a lot of time, and then the last game happens, and we all know how that went. So
I know.
Did you ever play it as where you stayed faithful to him and then the Citadel DLC funeral / like video messages he sent you? And because you can have these, you could say a line in that DLC at the funeral where you're like, I'll never love again, like a la Buttercup from Princess Bride. And I was just like, that stabbed me right in the heart when I played that one. I was like, oh God, Thane. Oh no.
it is devastating, really. Like I cannot play that part without crying. Like
Why do you think we like pain? Why do we like pain?
I mean, personally, I think like we see that we ourselves have inflicted pain and like feel pain ourselves, of course, because that's what makes us human. But like video games give us a room to like experience pain in like a good way and like in a controlled way maybe, and then you can like shut off the video game and be like, yeah, it's okay, I'm not crying.
Yeah. My
But
mom always used to say Steel Magnolias was her crying movie, and I didn't know what she meant when she said she had a crying movie until, like, I became a mom and just need to cry for whatever reason, like, all the time. But, like, you choose your moments to cry, and I feel like, you know, some people have movies or books or shows, but, like, we obviously have video games where we can, like, it's a catharsis. Where, like, I'm feeling a lot of pressure from this part of my life, and I'm going to go watch the romance video on YouTube of Thane because I know that will make me cry, and then I'll get it out.
One of my favorite lines from a song that I actually have planned to be a part of a future tattoo is I want to live in a world where crying isn't secret. It's the art of how we grieve. And I'm like, I love it. Pain and tragedy and hurt it shouldn't be hidden away and locked up. We need to feel those emotions. We need to process them. We need to get through them. And sometimes, and I've told this to many, many people, that all of my emotion comes out of my eyes. I will cry when I'm mad. I will cry when I'm sad. I cry when I'm happy. I've cried at the peaks of moments, and I can cry at any time. And it's brought up in chat that the only time that we see either shepherd cry out of any of the games is at a romanced Thane funeral. And in that moment, it is beautiful. But I also wish that we had seen it at least a few times more.
Yeah. I like thinking this is probably a really dumb comparison, but if you've seen Rick and Morty, and you've seen the Mr. Meeseeks episodes, and they always are like, existence is pain. But like that to me it's almost like a mantra, because I've had a lot of pain in the last couple of years from different things, like physical pain. And it's like, but that means you are alive. And that is good. Like I can, especially, women, we have periods and shit. I feel like we got a lot of pain in our lives just already stacked up, and we just have to learn to deal with it. But for me, it's like when you find the good part about it, because you have to experience pain if you are alive. So I think that's why we like it in some way. We kind of conditioned, we have to.
Really can have the good without the bad.
Exactly, because how are you going to know that it's good if you haven't experienced the bad?
It was like today when I finished Uncharted 4 and I cried, and my kid was like, sad? And I'm like, no, I'm not sad. I don't know. I'm just crying because it was so good. Like, I don't even know why I'm crying right now. It was just such a good story. Like, I don't know. We should all cry more. It's good for us.
I cried today because we watched Encanto. And of course I cried. And Rex looks over and she goes,
Dos Oruguitas.
Oi.
That song. If I hear that song, I'm going to cry.
Rex looks over and goes, it's okay, Mommy. The movie's not over yet. It gets better. And I'm like, mm-hmm. Yep.
Sweet Rex. Oh my god. I'm sorry if you heard my cat.
We are okay with kitty cat noises, but yeah, damn, Ollie, that was really loud. I never
He's not even in the room. He's not even in the room. My cat is an asshole. My kid's trying to sleep. That cat. His meows are so loud. I love him, though. I love him. I have to remind myself of that.
Did we have... Oh, okay. I guess the only... Is there anything that we missed out of Thane's romance, or did we cover him pretty well?
I think we talked about, or you talked about all of the key aspects in the romance. When we talk about what would have maybe brought more depth into the romance, I always think about, I love the romance as it is, but I always feel like I would love to see more, in a way that I would love to see other sides of him, because he's this very withdrawn, controlled person. I would just literally love to see him lose control, maybe, or maybe I want to know what it means for Thane to be funny. I want to know what that looks like. It would, I mean, it would need to be on character, because otherwise it would be kind of cringy, but I would love to see like a more extrovert side of him, maybe.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Thinking about that, there are moments with almost everybody off the top of my head where they break character and laugh and show some kind of, a silly little moment with their lover. And we don't get that with Thane. I would have loved to seen that.
I think the only instance where something in that direction happens is when you're on the Citadel and you meet Mouse and he just says like, yeah, you can change your pants in a second. And that's like the only thing that comes close to like in a funny direction. That's the only thing that happens.
Oh, if you bring Thane to recruit Samara. So, and then they talk about giving suicide mission orders. Thane will say something like, I didn't know we were allowed to ignore those.
Okay, that's good.
All right. I think that's everything.
Shit, sorry, I wasn't unmuting fast enough. I was just gonna say at his funeral when Edie says that she always tried to make him laugh, but she couldn't. That made me sad. I was just thinking about him being silly, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot she mentions how he wasn't a silly person because he was trying really hard to change his life.
Kolyat doesn't laugh either. I mean, we get very little interaction with him, but so maybe it's just not a part of the Drell culture to be frivolous and free. Because he does have a sense of humor if he's able to make a few little jokes like that. But
I don't know. It's weird. I wonder how it would change your life to remember that way. You know? Like if he easily slips into it. Maybe they're too focused on trying to stay present to laugh. I just wonder how your life would go, like how that would affect your day to day with a memory like that.
There was a line that I didn't bring up. Doesn't Thane talk about the taste of a lover's tongue?
Yeah, he does. I'm surprised you actually didn't want to have that here.
I knew that my big clip was going to be the romance clip because
Yeah.
Oh.
I need to look that up.
Yeah, we'll find the clip. We'll put it in our chat. But do you guys like Rupi Kaur, her poetry? There's a really good poem she wrote about pain that I wanted to share because she's great. But it is, what is stronger than the human heart, which shatters over and over and still lives? And I feel like sums up Thane's romance so well, and just Star-Crossed Lovers in general. The viewers of it, we have to watch it. We know what's going to happen. We still love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's everything for tonight. So before we wrap up the show, is there anything that you want to shout out or plug, Lena?
I have nothing going on, but you can always reach me on the Robots Radio Discord.
And then you're also in our chats on the live stream sometimes. You are Trantelier, right?
Yeah. I mean, I always thought the name would be somehow pronounceable to Americans or like English speakers. It's called Trental Tier because I mean, it's a long story. Like, don't get me started. But I mean, I'm the problem is I'm also too uncreative, like to think of anything new. So if you have any suggestions, be my guest.
It's okay. There are no original thoughts.
I believe
we're all copying somebody.
It's Tom's fault. I'm pretty sure he said it that way once, and that's just how it's stuck in my head. But now that you said it, Trantil Tier. Okay. All right.
Like a tier of Trantil. What is Trantil? Is that something?
It's my
now I want to hear the story.
It's actually my last name.
Oh.
But like the thing is, I know, like, Jen, don't give me that look.
No.
Like, I'm safe, just so you know. Just so you know.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, God. I'm not the one that makes
and if
noises.
someone
What the
comes
hell?
after you, we'll just send Thane. Or
That's
the
right.
next best thing, me. Because I'm a mama bear. Nobody touch our girl.
That's right.
I'll fight
You're
you.
so cute.
I'm also weak, so you'll win, but I will die trying.
I think we had this conversation earlier today. Lena and I did.
I am a chihuahua.
Lena and I were talking about mama bears fighting earlier today. So yes.
I wish I was an actual like mama bear, but I literally am a chihuahua. I'm like all bark, no bite. Like I have nothing to back it up. But I'll try. So I want my kid to go into martial arts or something. I want her to have something to back it up with. Also not a fighter though. I'm more of like a diffuser. But anyway, I'm not selling myself. Okay, if anyone touches you, I'm gonna fight them.
There we go. Just go with
Just
that.
gonna be a
Flat
terrible
and
fight.
stop. No.
I mean,
Uh,
weird internet people, you can try, but I will punch you, just so be prepared.
Lena doesn't need our protection. She's her own full badass.
Good. Because don't hire me for that because I'm not qualified.
Oh, all right. This is a lovely place to end the show for the night. So if you like what you're hearing, please be sure to leave us a review on iTunes or give us a rating on Spotify and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find me in our Two Girls One Ship chat on the Robots Radio Discord channel, and come and give us a follow on all the social medias and on Patreon at Two Girls One Ship. Links to those are in the description.
I'm on the Robots Radio Discord as well. And also be sure to check out our live stream on Twitch and YouTube on Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Our podcast episodes come out on Mondays because you always need something good on a Monday. Check out the description for all the links if you're interested.
Thanks for listening, and remember,
Beauty is in the eye of the controller.
oh, and Lena, how do you say it in German?
My name?
How would you
beauty is in the
say?
eye of the controller.
Oh my god.
How do you say your name?
I need to go to bed, guys. Oh my god, I'm so unprepared. Liebe ist im Auge des Betrachters.
Oh, that sounds so cool. I love it. Wish I spoke German.
Okay. All right. Good night, Lena. I hope you can sleep through all the caffeine you have infused in your body tonight. And we so very much appreciate you being here.
Sorry. Yes, thank you. I know how to say good night in Swedish. Is it similar to German? Good night.
Gute Nacht,
It's just
ja.
good night. Yeah, good night. Oh, it's so. I figured it'd be similar because it's like a Germanic language.
Guys, I felt like I haven't said thank you. Thank you for having me. It was really fun.
Well, obviously, you are welcome anytime, Lena. I know it's a very early morning for you, though.
Who did you romance in Cyberpunk?
River. But like, I'm not convinced by any romance in Cyberpunk, to be honest.
Okay. Oh, and night, Yuri.
I think it was a good try. Good night, Yuri. I think Cyberpunk did like a good try, but they haven't like hit their stride like BioWare has. You know, BioWare's pretty got the romances down.
Yeah.
Or at least they did. We'll see.
I mean, I was really like, I kind of fell in love with Harry just because he's a man with eyeliner. That obviously does it for me. But he was gay, so
yeah,
I'm a head out.
If you're like emotionally available, you cry, or you have guy liner. I'm like, all right, here I am. I romance Judy because I kind of like love her and also want to be her. I don't know, it's complicated. She's great. River was Caden to me, and I didn't romance him either, so I didn't go to River. He was kind of meh.
Yeah,
Did your food come?
And I mean, then there was this text, and I was just like,
Yeah.
where the hell? Like,
well, apparently Pan Am sends you nudes. That's part of the new patch. Like, they really went hardcore with the texts for the romances in Cyberpunk. I haven't played the new stuff for the romances yet. I need to get another copy of Cyberpunk because my kid like snapped it. Whoa. Sorry,
right.
my rabbit just chased my cat out of the room.
Rabbits and cats are fighting. Lena needs to go to bed. I'm getting hungry.
Yep. I'm
I
getting
think.
sleepy. Not as sleepy as Lena. It's only like 10:45 here p.m. But yeah, thank you, Lena. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching our show.
Buns
bye,
are
bye.
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 Tom joins right at the last second. Hi, Tom.
Buns are best. Night night.
Wait, hold on.
Oh wait, are we? Did you end it or no?
No, we're still live. We're still up.
Oh. Yeah, I felt bad for Lena because it was like 4 a.m. I'm like, no, that's dedication to Thane.
It is
to wake up that early.
No, she just didn't go to bed.
That's difficult.
And that's right. I wanted to really show off the pretty picture. Aw.
I used to feed the wild bunnies outside my apartment in San Diego too, because they don't give them carrots. Everybody give them like Timothy hay or orchard grass, or if you must give them something from your fridge, make it spring mix and very little spinach because it's too much oxidatives in their diet. And God forbid, don't give them any citrus because that is toxic to rabbits. No citrus, yeah. And very, very
animal allergy that I know about is cats with garlic.
Is it an allergy? I thought it was toxic.
Oh,
I don't know. Like toxic. The what are they called? The group that garlic and onions and scallions and shallots belong to. It's called I can't remember what it is because it's late. I learned it from Bon Appetit's YouTube channel a long time ago. It starts with an A.
Honey, you're barking up the wrong tree with me.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, those are no good for kids. Yeah. Fun fact. I'm sleepy, so it's on to the animal fun facts.
Allison.
Guinea pigs cannot make their own vitamin C, so they have to eat it every day. So they can have citrus, or red bell peppers are a really good source of vitamin C. So you can give them a slice of that. Guinea pigs are also super smelly, so I don't like them. I foster a lot of animals, and I fostered guinea pigs, and I will never again. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sunrise. That was what I was trying to remember.
Like all over their body or just like on the top of their head? Because those are very different things.
I don't know. Have you felt a guinea pig though? Their hair, our hair would probably like stand up on end. Like we would have, like we look like we just got electrocuted because their actual hair follicle is so thick. Like we wouldn't need that much hair. You know what I mean? Like even people with thick hair don't have hair as thick as a guinea pig. It's more like horse hair. That would just look weird on a person. And our heads would be so heavy. Heavier than they already are.
My hair is so thin. It literally... But
I can kind of see it because of the background, though. It's messing with it.
I can make my hair go all the way down to a fine point.
Oh, so my hair's kind of short right now because I had to chop a lot of it off because of like COVID crisis hair dyeing. I did that a lot. But yeah, my hair, the actual hairs are fine, but I have quite a lot of it and it's frizzy, so it adds volume. So it's a lie, basically. When my hair gets wet, it's... What happened?
I punched my headphone and it really sounded loud and hurt my ear.
Ow.
Motherfucker.
I was like, did you bite your mouth? Like, that's what I thought because you were chewing.
No, I punched myself in the headphone.
That sounds terrible.
All right, well, yeah. I believe that Navi is still streaming right now, and she's playing Mass Effect.
I used to have a lot of
Alexis.
hair, but I have a Y chromosome. I'm sorry, Tom. I just saw what you wrote.
I tried to convince him
Teehee.
the other night to diet Toasty level white. Toasty went completely ashen, like Siri Geralt level white.
Ooh,
It looks so good.
love it.
So good.
Did he go to someone to do that?
Yeah. 6 hours he sat in the
Nice.
chair.
Wow. Well, because his hair is very brown, so that's a lot of bleach. That's a lot of
And
levels you gotta
it's
lighten.
longer than mine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he didn't cut it at
Toasty
all.
in your area? Or no, he's not, right? He lives
Mm-mm.
in a different part.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I do like a good white blonde, though. That looks nice. My hair naturally is similar to this. It's more ashy, but because my hair was red before, this is the amount of warmth still left over
Mm-hmm.
without completely ruining my hair. I'm just trying to get to my natural hair again because I'm over my crisis, I guess. But yeah. Anyway,
I don't know
wow.
what my next dye job is going to be. We'll see. It's what work will allow me to go. Because I want.
Oh wait, there was something I wanted to ask you from this episode when you said that Thane, no matter what his height is, would be shorter than you. How tall are you?
I'm
Because the tallest
5'9".
a drow could be is. Oh, you're 5'9". Okay, you are taller than me. But when you said he's shorter than you, no matter what height, so she's taller than 5'9". Like she's a giant because I'm 5'6".
Yeah, I'm like
A little
right
hobbit.
in between 5'9", 5'10". But I claim 5'9" because it's 69 inches.
Well, you would. That's amazing. I can't wait. Next year, when we finally unite in person, we got to get like a back-to-back height picture so I can assume my true hobbit form.
Oh, and then Jace is 6 foot.
Wow, yeah. My husband's also 5'6", so we are hobbits together.
My 11-year-old is almost 5 foot. Or did she hit 5 foot?
Oh, wow. My baby is short. I think she's in like the 25th percentile for height. I don't know how tall she is though.
Rex has been top
toddler.
99 her entire life on everything.
We need average weight. She's like exactly 50%, 50th percentile for weight, but short. So I'm like, she's gonna be me, just a little bit thick and short.
Oh,
I've never been willowy. I wish I could be described as willowy, but no.
Lainey is your older daughter, right? I don't watch the Fallout Lowcast, but I know. Yeah. Okay, so my 11-year-old is about the same height as Tom's 21-year-old. My baby is a giant. I've called her an Amazon since day one.
Wow.
She was over 8
She's
pounds,
gonna be like
over
as tall
20
as me
inches.
when I finally meet her.
Probably.
I'm gonna be scared. I'm like, this kid's my size. I'm scared.
And she's a little battle
She has
Krogan.
authority now.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I forget that I'm an adult sometimes. I'm like, oh no, I have to listen to someone who's taller than me.
Oh.
It's like Invader Zim, my tallest.
Oh. So Cloudy and I are the exact same height. And so I thought that was like perfectly aligned. It's awesome. And then
my dad is 6'4". Like I'm used to people who are taller than me. I don't know why I didn't get any of that.
I have one female friend who is taller than me. And I have one of my aunts is taller than me because she's like 6'2". But I don't have any other family members. I have one aunt, one friend who are taller than me. But the men in my life, holy shit, they are all over 6 feet. Except for one of them. Sorry, David.
Not me. Well, I don't know my dad's family because we just didn't live in the same part of the country as them. But my mom's family, they were also scattered. They're all taller, but the women aren't, just the men. But they're not as tall as my dad. My dad's definitely the tallest person. But that didn't get passed down. And obviously my husband's short and his family's pretty short too, so
I come from a
Just-
long line of long people.
Yeah.
Ooh.
My ancestors had to be like close to the ground because I don't know. That's where it was safest, like from the rain or something. Who knows?
You
I just
hobbit.
assume that I was actually a hobbit, yeah. I don't even bother looking at those height prediction things for my kid. Sunrise just said they're estimated to be 6'4", and that did not come to pass. Everyone's like, "How tall will your kid be? Do this math formula to figure it out." And I'm like, or I can just wait.
Yeah.
I don't like math. I'll just wait.
Rex was
yeah.
estimated to be like 6'2", 6'3", but then as she's progressed at her last appointment, they're like, yeah, she's probably going to range either between 5'10" and 6 foot.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that's
don't
my
want
friend.
my
My friend
baby
has
taller than me. No, it's not cute. Make it stop.
One of my friends from the Navy has 3 almost, well, she's going to be 4 next month. And her dad is like a giant, like freaking giant 6'4" guy. And she's taller than me too. I think she's like 5'9" also. And her kid has always been 99th percentile and everything. And she sends me like her kid she's not 4 yet, but she's wearing like actual kid size clothes. Like she's not in T clothes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember what her shoes, it's like a size 10 shoe or something like at her age. And I see pictures of her or videos of her because we Snapchat every day. And I'm just like, I can't recognize that kid as only a year older than my kid because she looks so far removed from my hobbit child. She's so tiny. She's not even 30 pounds yet. And meanwhile, my friend's kid is like 50 and she's only like a year older. My husband was 35 pounds when he went to kindergarten, apparently. So I'm expecting her to be little. Plus, I'm a twin, so we were smaller anyway, just because there were 2 of us in the womb.
Mm-hmm.
That quickly changed as we came out of the womb. But I started out being dainty.
I have never been called dainty.
Yeah.
I was 5'3" in middle school. I've always been big.
My big came in places I didn't want it to when I was a kid, mainly my chest. So didn't want that kind of attention when I was a 12-year-old. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I chopped him off. So it was all good.
No, and there's nothing wrong with being dainty.
No, I want to be dainty.
And there's nothing
Like,
wrong
I've
with
always
being
wanted to
big
be
either.
dainty.
Like I love
True.
my size.
Yeah.
I would not want to be shorter just because I like being tall. And I like my boobs. I spent 30 years growing the things. Of course I'm going to keep them around.
I had a bad relationship with them. And the only good thing they ever did was feed my kid for a year. And then I chopped them off. And then I was like, finally, I'll have cute little boobs. And then one of my incisions completely opened for months and months, and I have a huge scar. So now I don't. I'm getting laser for it through my insurance. Hopefully we'll fix it because I don't want another surgery to do a revision because I just don't want another surgery. It's not like horrible, but I was kind of like, oh, I was finally going to have like cute boobs and now I don't because I have a giant scar. That I
Maybe
wish
this is
came
why
from,
we
like, a
were tagged
battle.
as sexually explicit
This
content.
is definitely. I mean, I'm not even talking about them as like a sex thing though. Like that's just my body.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sucked. That was last year. For 6 months I had an open wound. It was huge. It was like 4 inches by 5 inches. Just huge. Yeah. They didn't stitch it up. I didn't get a skin graft. It just grew new skin over the course of 6 months. And once the skin grew, it was so sensitive that any extra movement, like if I was scrubbing a pan, would rub a piece open again. And it just felt like I was constantly taking steps back, which is what I mean by I know what pain is, because man, that was the worst. And the year before that, I broke my arm while I was breastfeeding. I couldn't have pain medicine. And the year before that, I had a kid, which is painful. And the year before that, I was still in the Navy and I had injuries there. And it was just constant shit. But I'm finally good now, so that's nice. But I'm just worried for my kid, you know? I want her to have I hope she accepts her body in a way that I never did. But part of that was because I had a mom who was constantly shitting on her own body, like, all the time. So I'm really having to unlearn all that stuff. I think a lot of people are, you know, as we come into more of like an awakened time thanks to social media and talking more openly about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only times that I have ever been ashamed of my body is when I've had other people tell me that I need to be. Like, I've never felt
Yeah.
it for myself, but I've only felt it when other people are telling me that.
Yeah.
When I
I think that's
was
true for me too.
when I was a little like I was heavy for a long time, but I didn't really
Yeah.
see it in myself, and it wasn't until like looking back at pictures then I was like, "Ooh, I don't like the way that I look in those." But then I
Mhm.
was looking at me now and I'm like, "Oh, either I subconsciously made that decision to make healthier choices for myself to make myself feel better."
Mhm. Yeah. I'm struggling with that. I'm not at my heaviest weight right now, but I'm heavier than I have been in the past. And I've gone through a lot of like tests trying to figure out why. And I'm finally going to like a weight management clinic and I don't know what they're going to do. Hopefully I can just get to a healthier point because I don't feel like healthy. But also thanks to like last year and the year before that and the year before that, like all these medical things I've had in the last couple of years, it's really hard to have a workout routine. Like I keep starting one and then having to stop
Mhm.
because of this or that, you know. And this year I've finally well, I hurt my back earlier this year, so now I'm just doing yoga. just just ease back into it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just poopy.
Those are
I
facts, Tom.
I think
Major
yeah,
facts.
I think the reason uh I have all that too is because my mom. So that's why I have to really be careful and not say stuff about even me, especially not her body.
Mhm.
You know, my mom, and I don't think she means in a bad way, but like she would be like, "Wow, you look like you lost a little bit of weight. Like you still have all your saddlebags though," or like she would like say shit like that, or like, "I'm really happy you got your dad's legs, but I'm not happy you got your dad's waistline." Like I remember hearing that stuff all the time growing up, and I'm just like, don't say that to your kids. Don't. And she's not malicious. Like she heard it too. She just never tried or thought that it was bad. I think she also might think she's doing you a favor, pointing it
Mm.
out or something.
Mhm.
But in my case, I've done a lot of things. That's why I'm going to a doctor for my weight because some people can't lose weight just by exercise or diet alone. And I seem to be one of those people because I have tried millions of things. And up
Mhm.
until a couple years ago, I had no problem with my weight at all. It just I got the arm birth control for like 6 months when I
Oh.
was in the Navy, and I gained like 30 pounds. And then I asked for it to be taken out. And then ever since then, I've kept that 30 pounds. Like I couldn't, I don't know what it did to my body, but like I did not do well in that one.
Hormones will
So
fuck you up, man.
yeah, they will. So then I got pregnant. I breastfed, and it was just like, whoa, man, hormones. That just does it in for you. Ugh. Anyway, that was a tangent to beat all tangents. Weren't we supposed to be gone by now?
Yeah, but it's fine. I mean, okay, so we've covered tits. Did we talk tattoos at
Mhm.
all? Yes, I mentioned tattoos in
Yeah,
the
you
episode.
mentioned a tattoo.
Uh,
We snuck Garrus into the episode, so
Turians
Turians.
and tangents. We've hit our four. We've hit the
Yeah,
four.
we definitely got tangents down this time.
Tits, tats, Turians, and tangents. I love it. The 4 T's. Oh, and love, laugh, tequila. And I think we're good for the night. Yeah. And we got the awesome Beauty is in the Eye of the Controller line in German. And that's
I
fun.
loved hearing that.
And
I love hearing other languages, and German is such a beautiful language.
we got to debut the new music. Tequila sunset, tequila sunrise, tequila all the time, baby. Fuck it. It's Friday night. I'm going to go get me some tequila.
I've been drinking wine this whole time. What about you?
Monster.
Oh, okay. Okay, wait, we need to go now because Lena won't go to bed until she's still awake.
That's right. Okay. All right, lovelies. We will see you next week for Patreon episode. Yes. Okay. One, tequila and monster is actually an amazing combination. The white monster with a white tequila, the right white tequila.
I've never enjoyed
amazing.
Energy drinks unless it's coffee or espresso, but it's also coffee.
I have a story about that, and maybe I will save that for another Jenny tangent, because there was a day where the big fucking cans that are like 32 ounces, I drank half of the Monster, poured the other half full of tequila, and then drank that all damn day.
How are you alive?
Oh, that's just one day of the bender. Fun times.
Wow. Nope, not me.
Remind me.
I have a
next
great story
time.
about the one time I got drunk. Like drunk. Normally I'm just a very reserved drinker. I got drunk in Korea once, and it's a story for another time.
Okay. We'll figure out when to work that one in. But if we ever need a filler, ask Jen what happened in Oakland. All right.
Yeah, or ask about what happened in the back alleys of Seoul. That sounds really dirty. It wasn't that dirty. It wasn't a back alley, though. I was walking home. Shit. Sorry.
Back alleys of Seoul and the rough streets of Oakland. Actually, they weren't rough, but I probably shouldn't have been walking around completely drunk off my ass at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's about the same time as me.
Yeah. I had friends with me.
I didn't. But I was almost to my apartment.
Hey, V.
And Seoul's very safe.
V, I'd love to see the back alleys of your soul.
God.
Hey,
bye.
Your girlfriend showed.
Maya. 사랑해. Kiss her. Kiss the kitten. Oh, 귀엽다. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Verada.
Je t'aime beaucoup. Tom, no. That's funny. All right.
Okay. Yep.
Good
We've
night.
done kitty. And now the cat has
Ciao,
arrived. We have done all of the 2-girl things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Ollie's under the desk.
We heard Ollie earlier.
Yeah, wait. Let me grab him so you can see what the demon looks like. Come here. Shit. He doesn't want to come.
You've lost your glasses and your headphones are gone. Oh my god.
And my rabbit chased him out again. As you can see, he's also a bitch to deal with. He's not cute. He's actually a beautiful cat. He's just an asshole. I'll post a picture. Yeah, he's my demon cat. Good night.
Okay.
For real.
All right. Good
bye,
night
bye,
for
bye,
reals.
bye.
Bye. Oh, okay.